Welcome to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from May 10th, 1996.
From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good morning. From Cactus Country to the Hawaiian and Tahitian island chains, eastward to the Caribbean and the U.S. Virgin Islands, south into South America, north to the pole, and worldwide on the internet. This is Coast to Coast AM, and I'm Art Bell. Hello. Well, I've got a lot to tell you about. Something you're going to want to get your calendar for, I'm sure. And I would not have believed it was possible. But I did give it a try, and I am amazed. Coming up this next Wednesday, May 15th, at 1 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Time, Richard Hoagland in debate with Apollo 14 astronaut Dr. Edgar Mitchell. It's kind of going to be the radio event of the century. And I make no predictions about its outcome, none. But you wanted it, you got it. Richard Hoagland wanted it, he got it. And I will tell you a little bit about the genesis of this. Richard Hoagland, as you know, has been on my show many, many times, and now Dr. Edgar Mitchell with a recent appearance. And Richard Hoagland has done a lot of work to try and prove, to show that there are large glass structures on the moon. We've had him on the show many times, and then we had Dr. Edgar Mitchell, Apollo 14 astronaut, on, and he basically said green cheese and bologna in response to Richard's work. And so earlier in the day today, I called Dr. Mitchell and offered him a debate with Richard Hoagland. And his initial comments withheld. He said no. I said, okay, fine, that's kind of what I expected. And then he said, wait a minute. Maybe I've been a little hasty. Let's do it. So I said, fine, let's do it. So I suggest you mark that one down on your calendar. Richard Hoagland, an Apollo 14 astronaut, the guy who stood there, Dr. Edgar Mitchell, together for at least some period of time, May 15th at 1 in the morning. And I want to thank both of them for accepting the opportunity. And I need not tell you how interesting it's going to be. Now, this evening at about 20 minutes, we're going to have a brief guest on the program. As you know, I'm a science fiction aficionado. I love it. One of the first science fiction books I ever read was one of my favorites, remains one of my favorites to this day. And it's called Lucifer's Hammer. Well, guess what? We've got the co-author of Lucifer's Hammer, Dr. Jerry Pournelle, as a guest coming up in about 20 minutes here. And I'm really looking forward to that. I read Lucifer's Hammer I don't know how many times. It is one of my favorite topics. For those of you who have not read it, it is a book about an asteroid and the Earth. And we'll talk more about that. And I know Dr. Pournelle is working on a new book right now. We'll talk to him about that as well. If he's willing to talk about it, we'll see. So there's a little bit of what's coming up on the show, both next Wednesday and this evening. Otherwise, we will have open lines during the night tonight. You all know by now about Operation Purple Star, the biggest war game that has been played, most recently with tragic results. 50,000 U.S. and British people involved. Biggest actually in a decade. 2 helicopters collided. And there are 14 dead Marines as a result. That was at Camp Lejeune, which is where I was born, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And it's pretty awful. A CH-46C night helicopter transport collided with an AH-1 Cobra attack helicopter, both great big monsters. There was, at the time, darkness. Night vision goggles were in use. I'm sure many of you have seen some of the coverage of some of the faults thought to be contained when using night vision goggles, the misperceptions. That may or may not be part of it. We don't know yet. IR Today's helicopter crash brought back painful memories for me. 81, I was a naval corpsman attached to the Marine Air Wing in Tustin, California. One evening while I stood watch in the sickbay, the crash phone sounded. It's like the one today. 2 choppers had collided, gone down. 7 Marines died in this one. 1 survived. I'll never forget the sights, sounds, especially the smells that terrible night. So there's going to be a lot of investigation. They're going to try and determine whether military planes and aircraft, helicopters are kept in the same kind of condition as civilian. There's some indication that the military craft Ron Brown was flying was not safety-wise anywhere near ready for civilian standards. Awful tragedy at my birthplace. The House has passed adoption benefits. You adopt a child, you get a $5,000 tax credit for families earning up to $75,000, somewhat less for those to $115,000. Colby's autopsy results are back. No foul play indicated. The State Department says the Clinton administration has decided against imposing sanctions on China for the alleged export of nuclear weapons-related technology to Pakistan. Ooh, isn't that something? State Department spokesman Nicholas Burns says no sanctions are needed because China has now agreed to make no such sales in the future. How many of you think we can trust the Chinese? Raise your hands. A newly declassified U.S. intelligence document says that Nazi leaders plotted in the waning days of World War II, get this, a post-war return to power in Germany. Document refers to meetings in 1944 between Nazi leaders and top German industrialists to plan a secret post-war international network to restore the Nazis to power. Can you believe that? That sounds just like something out of a science fiction novel. You know, the Nazis are back, but they almost were. So it seems what man can imagine more times than not occurs. Tonight, an hour ago, Reuters. Is it a bat? Is it a witch? Is it from Mars? We only know this much. It is furry, has big, bulbous eyes, and sucks the blood of goats and other creatures. The mysterious vampire-like creature known as Chupacabra has gripped the fevered imaginations of many Mexicans. Now, people here. While government officials appeal for calm, enterprising trinket sellers have jumped on the bandwagon with Chupacabra T-shirts, key rings, and so forth. In Tijuana, they're offering tours of sites allegedly linked to the creature. This is Reuters I'm reading you about an hour ago. Some say it is extraterrestrial. Others say drought in Mexico's northern states has driven bats, wolves, and coyotes to carry out the attacks. Witnesses say it sucks their blood until they die, leaving telltale puncture marks on the neck and other mutilations. One man so far has been attacked in Mexico. 2 bite marks. And so the mystery of La Chupacabra continues, and certainly, folks, begins to deepen. This, last night, No, check that. Art, I thought you might like to know the goat sucker is now in Arizona. Last night on the news, Channel 3, they reported that El Chupacabra was seen in Tucson, Arizona last week. A boy woke up to see it in his room. After he screamed, the creature jumped through the window, breaking it as he did. Really? Can you imagine that nightmare? I mean, when you're little, you jump under the covers frequently enough to avoid imaginary monsters. How'd you like to have El Chupacabra show up in your room? Good Lord. Then this, aren't they had a teaser for the 10 p.m. news here in Los Angeles on Fox, Channel 11? One of the stories they talked about was about what in the world is killing small animals. They showed about half dozen of dead rabbits with big holes in their necks. Is Chupacabra here in L.A.? You know, and all we have is rumor, the fact that some Mexican cowboy may have killed one. It is claimed. A powerful concoction of illicit drugs, dubbed homicide on the street, sent 116 of the drug abusers into Philadelphia hospitals. Philadelphia, I said. An official with the Philadelphia Department of Health said most of those admitted Thursday night had been released, but several people remained in the hospital. He said the drug killed 5 people in Philadelphia in February. Lewis said the drug was analyzed as a concoction of heroin, cocaine, scopolamine, I guess it is, which is used as a sedative or hypnotic, vitamins, and a cough suppressant. Health Department officials said that for about 7 hours Thursday, drug users with overdose symptoms were being rushed to Philadelphia hospitals. It gives me the heebie-jeebies, folks, to talk about something and then have it come true before my eyes. You know what we talked about the last few days, and then all of a sudden, boom, here we go. So, there you've got it, and again, I want to remind you, because it will be the event of the century. It's going to be interesting. Look, this next Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we're going to have Richard Hoagland and Dr. Edgar Mitchell here, and it should be something indeed. I've got another newspaper article here, this time from the Oregonian, yesterday, entitled "Militias Draw Up Plans for War." And so it is confirmation of the story that I've been giving you for the last couple of days about what lies directly ahead with regard to the militias, and I'll try and get to that this morning as well. Howdy, Art. Have you heard about the creation cannibal? Rodney Hines, a California resident, was recently arrested on charges of stealing and eating the remains of 4 people. Hines explained to police that he believed doing so would enable him to live forever. Unlike Jeff Dahmer, Hines did not kill the people he ate. In fact, what he had stolen was cremated ashes. Hines ingested the ashes by sprinkling them on regular food, seasoning, I guess, and by snorting them. After hearing Hines bragging about his immortality scheme, an acquaintance tipped off the local police. The authorities in Chico, California, had been investigating the disappearance of several urns from a local cemetery, and they made the connection. gives a whole new meaning to the idea of having a friend for dinner. The full story is in our Enigma section in Periscope. See you in cyberspace. Indeed, cyberspace. If you would like to join us in a chat, you may do so. It'll be a lot of fun. What you do is go on America Online right now. Click on keyword, and enter the word Periscope. That's P-A-R-A-S-C-O-P-E, Periscope. Then when you get to Periscope, you go to the Grassy Knoll. Don't you like that name for a chat room, the Grassy Knoll? Where I guess you can all lurk. And I'll probably be in there in a bit. So AOL, Periscope area, then the Grassy Knoll chat room. And it's a big gathering every night now, and you'll enjoy some people that listen to this program. And the comments are ongoing about it in there. Let me give you the appropriate telephone numbers to call when we get to that. The first-time caller line, for those that never have ventured forth, is area code 702-727-1222. 702-727-1222. The wildcard direct dial lines, area code 702-727-1295, 1295. West of the Rockies, it's 1-800-618-8255. 1-800-618-8255. East of the Rockies, 1-800-825-5033. 1-800-825-5033. If you're outside the good old U.S. of A., get hold of your AT&T USA Direct operator, or get the USA Direct number for your country, and then dial 800-893-0903. 800-893-0903. Well, okay, when I was a youngster, I say youngster, I was really on the island of Okinawa at the time. I read Lucifer's Hammer. It was a book about a collision with Earth of an asteroid. It's one of the better science fiction books that I've ever written. It was co-authored by Larry Niven and Dr. Jerry Pournelle. And we're going to have Dr. Pournelle here in a few minutes. And it captivated me. It originally sparked much of my interest in space and topics of this kind. It simply riveted me. And I'm kind of curious what book Dr. Pournelle is working on now. And what he thinks about all the rather recent close visitations of comets and asteroids and meteorites and all the rest of it. I mean, there really has been a lot. The modern version of that might have been Without Warning, which also was, I thought, one of the better television shows I had ever seen. It was a modern version. Without Warning was the modern version of Lucifer's Hammer. So we're going to explore all of that here in a moment and talk with Dr. Pournelle. I think you'll find it absolutely fascinating, and I recommend you stay right where you are. Pass the word, folks. It'll be Dr. Edgar Mitchell, the man who stood on the moon in Apollo 14, and Richard Hoagland. Wednesday at 1 a.m. Pacific Time. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
This is Premier Networks. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere in Time. listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from May 10th, 1996.
Morning, everybody. Coming up in a moment, Dr. Jerry Pournelle, co-author of Lucifer's Hammer, one of the greatest science fiction works of all time, in my opinion. He's working on a new one. We'll see what information we can pry from him about that. And now it is truly a great honor to have Dr. Jerry Pournelle on the show, who co-authored many years ago with Larry Niven, Lucifer's Hammer. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hi there.
Haven't been on this show in years.
In years, huh? When you say this show, I guess you used to be on with Ray Bream on KABC in L.A.
Yes, sort of the Insomniacs hour on Friday nights particularly. Yes.
Doctor, I'll tell you what, we're almost going to have to ask you to switch to a phone. I know it's not going to be as good for you, but the audio's just not coming through. Okay, thank you. He's got a headset there.
Is that better?
Oh, that's very much better.
All righty.
Yes, much better. And, Doctor, many years ago, your science fiction book, Lucifer's Hammer, was the first it's what introduced me to science fiction. It's what got me going, and I've been a fan all these years.
Well, that's terrific.
And it's just, I think it's one of the best works ever done on the subject. For those who haven't ever read it, it's a classic, and would you give them a brief outline of the premise of Lucifer's Hammer?
Well, Lucifer's Hammer starts off with a comet. It starts at a Hollywood party, and an amateur astronomer has just discovered a comet and having a good time telling everybody about its coming, and it's going to come close to the Earth. Well, as time goes on, it turns out it's going to get a lot closer than they thought, and indeed, it turns out it's going to get very close, like it's going to hit us, or pieces of it are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first half of the book, is that it's coming. The second half is what happens afterwards, because it makes an unholy mess of things.
Well, it was strangely prophetic in a lot of ways. We have had a lot of very recent close calls in the last few years. I remember, I think it was 89, wasn't it, that they announced sort of the day after, a big one almost hit.
Well, that was a big meteor, which, in fact, I guess came closer than the moon's orbit, that would have made a mess, not quite as big a mess as Lucifer's Hammer. With Lucifer's Hammer, we exercise some storyteller's art in there. Instead of having one great big thing that fried a whole lot of the Earth, or maybe all of it at once, we broke it into chunks so that there was enough left that you could have a story afterwards.
Right. Which may not be the case in real life one of these days.
Never know. I mean, we now know that it's not generally known. The Earth is hit by about 20 megatons worth of energy every year of foreign objects.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot, 20 megatons.
That is a lot.
But most of it burns up in the higher atmosphere, and you don't know about it. Every now and then you get something like the Tunguska event of 1905 in Siberia, where a stony asteroid went off with about 10 megatons of force at maybe 10 or 11,000 feet.
Mm.
Fortunately, that happened before we had all these nuclear weapons poised to blow each other up, or somebody, because you couldn't have told the difference between the one and the other. The Russians could easily have thought it would have been an atom bomb, except that it wasn't, of course.
If there was something coming our way, evil comet, asteroid, whatever, do we have the ability, in your opinion, everybody always asks this, to stop it? Do we have the...
If you mean, no, we do not. If you mean, could we have the ability in the sense that could we do something that would, that would let us be able to do it in a reasonably near future, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have any strategic, we don't have any it surprises most people in this country that we have no missile defenses, as an example.
To speak of, we don't, do we?
We have none. Zero. If we knew that a missile had been launched from Libya to land in New York City, or the Chinese recently said that if we interfered with their operations in Taiwan, that we really wouldn't want to do that because Los Angeles is more important to us than Taiwan.
And you're in
now,
the
official that said that has since disavowed it. But if we saw a missile launched from China at Los Angeles, all you could do is run, and you'd have about 20 minutes.
So
we couldn't shoot it down. We have nothing to shoot it down with.
So you wouldn't run that far?
You wouldn't go that far.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean we couldn't do it.
Okay,
we
now,
know how to do these things. It's just that we don't deploy them.
All right, well, what about something that would be coming at us that we would have some days or even weeks warning
days
about?
Days or weeks doesn't do it. It would take a couple of years to develop the capabilities to get to space fast, basically. If you had a crash program and you threw everything at it and you try to do it, who knows? I am sort of an unofficial advisor to NASA on a lot of things, and I know something about our capabilities. And if you just went all out for everything, you might get something up there. What you're trying to do, of course, is to get enough explosive force at the center of gravity of whatever's coming at you to aim it in a slightly different direction. So
well, if it was a piece of iron,
you wouldn't see it.
You wouldn't see it?
You wouldn't know it was there. That's the problem. Again, if you had space-based radars looking, it's not indetectable in theory, especially something like a large iron asteroid. We know one of those hit, and by the way, it wasn't all that big. Meteor crater in Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah. That was an iron asteroid quite small, under 100 feet in diameter.
Under 100 feet. Wow.
Yeah, it was quite small. If it, there was a company formed to go mine it, thinking that anything that made that big a crater would have had to be a lot of very valuable nickel iron down there.
Right.
Turned out there isn't much. It wasn't very big. It just was a lot of energy. It's moving very fast.
Tell me, if Shoemaker-Levy 9, the pieces from Shoemaker-Levy 9, had hit Earth instead of Jupiter...
It would have been just about like Lucifer's hammer. The result would have ended up about like that. You'd had big tidal waves, lots of coastal areas flooded, mud showers all over the place, salt rain ruining crops.
All right. Well, what I've heard, Doctor, is that we will not see the one, in all likelihood, that would hit us because it would be coming directly at us, and that would prevent astronomers from getting a good look at it. Is there anything to that?
Well, that's, again, not necessarily the case. You need to look from space.
Yeah.
What you really need, if every 10 million years, approximately, something really big hits. I'll give you a number that'll surprise you. Your chances of being killed by a large object from space are approximately the same as your chances of being killed in an airplane crash.
Well,
that's to say, it's a low probability event for any individual.
Yeah.
But in the case of a large object from space, while it's a very low probability event, the number of people that it'll kill is a very high number. If you see what I mean.
I do. Doctor, did you happen to see on television what I thought was the modern version of Lucifer's hammer, which was called Without Warning?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, what a great flick that was on television. But I'm more concerned with reality. Have you heard of a comet out there called Machholz 2?
Yeah, there are a bunch of them. I used to be on the board of directors of the Lowell Observatory, and we'd get briefings on what they know about it. It is about every 10 million years something big hits the Earth. It's in that range. And by big, I mean big compared to meteor crater is small.
Uh-huh.
I mean big. I mean like the Gulf of Mexico type big or Hudson's Bay type big.
What would that do to the Earth? I mean, generally, aside from...
make a great big mess out of things. You're talking about the release of enormous amounts of energy. it would turn the lights off. That's probably what killed the dinosaurs.
Well, if it could kill them, it certainly could do it.
It wouldn't do us any good. You'd have about 4 years with almost no crops. You'd have to try to live, and I mean, think of 4 years of winter.
No, it's unthinkable. It would destroy the economy of the world.
The economy'd be gone. Some people would live through it, but you wouldn't have much crops. You wouldn't have much economy. You'd just a great deal of the electrical generating structure would be gone, so that you're not going to grow stuff under lights. You're talking about what? I don't know. In Lucifer's Hammer, I think we figured something like a quarter of the population survived.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that, maybe less.
Does our solar system, I'm not an astronomer, but does it move through areas of greater density of these objects?
That appears to be the case, yeah. And again, that's you got me on the exact numbers, but we orbit the center of the galaxy with a period in the millions of years, and some parts of where we go appear to be richer with debris out there and so forth than others.
The premise of your book that an amateur astronomer discovered Lucifer's Hammer, that is, in fact, it seems like the way comets are discovered.
Because professional astronomers spend most of their time looking with great big telescopes at very far away objects. There are a few observatories like the Lowell that spend a lot of time looking for smaller objects in solar system stuff, but most professional astronomers aren't interested in anything that's under 1 billion light years away nowadays.
Great. Great. And how much do you think our military is actually doing in terms of having some sort of radar that could see?
Not very much. They'd like to, but the trouble is that the administration has interpreted the Strategic Defense Treaty, which was made with the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, which no longer exists.
Right.
But even so, we are honoring this treaty, which, with an entity that isn't there, that has greatly limited the strategic defenses, and most of the things that could be used to defend against meteors would clearly be very useful in defending against large space objects.
So you wouldn't be able to delineate between the purpose?
Well, not really. I mean, if I've got something that can shoot down things coming at us, then it will obviously do a better job of getting the close ones than it will the ones that are far away, do you see?
Well, I can almost see the committee and Senate hearings that would be held after something hit.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't we do it? Well, this, that, and the other. I mean, people would be impeached. They'd be, well, that's assuming that it was that the Capitol survived so that you could have
hearings,
and, you know, yeah. By the way, I'm supposed to push a book.
I want you to push a book.
Higher Education by Charles Sheffield and Jerry Purnell, which is a Jupiter's book series from Tor Books. The imprint Jupiter belongs to Charlie Sheffield and me.
Higher Education.
Higher Education. It's a young adult book, and it got tremendously good review in Book List just this week, so we're quite proud of that.
So they can get it in major bookstores.
Yeah, it will be shortly. I think it's not quite out, but it's like a week or two.
All right. Are you working on a book now?
Several, actually.
Several?
Nevin and I are doing one that is set some 12,000 years ago in a universe in which magic works. This is the fall of Atlantis type of thing.
I see.
And I am at present finishing another young adult for this Jupiter series that's my own called Star Swarm that, I don't know, it may be the best thing I've ever done.
Really?
Well, I like it anyway.
What's the premise?
You have to have faster than light to have this happen, but it's an alien life form that is very different.
Have you been hearing all the recent stories about this strange creature they're calling Chupacabra?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, very strange animal that is killing goats, taking the blood. Very strange. Showed up first in Puerto Rico, then South America.
No, I've not heard of that.
Now in our country, yes. Very, very strange.
It's an animal? Or?
It is some type of animal, yes.
Like a bat or a...
Well, it's described to be about 4 feet tall, with red eyes, a lizard-like appearance.
Great heavens.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know anything about it. And what, these things are running wild?
Well, they're killing animals, and strangely, there are 2 bite marks on, and all the blood is gone from the animals.
You mean like a vampire?
Like a vampire. 2 marks on the outside of the neck.
This is a natural phenomenon, not a supernatural thing. A lizard-like creature. I know nothing about it. Where would... No, I'm afraid you've got me by surprise on that.
Okay, well, that's fine. You may want to look into it. It's a pretty strange story.
It sounds interesting. Wow.
It is, yes.
I mean, is this something more solid than Bigfoot? I mean,
oh, yes. Nobody has yet caught one, but many hundreds of animals have now been hit.
Huh.
Very strange.
That is very strange, and I must say that I haven't seen a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm astonished.
Doctor, what do you think the possibility or probability is that there is extraterrestrial life, anybody, anywhere other than ourselves?
Yeah, I understand. The best answer to that is Enrico Fermi's question. Fermi, one of the guys that helped develop the atom bomb and so forth?
Yes.
Fermi was famous for his little seminar dinners where he would have his graduate students over to dinner and they would discuss things, and then he would ask a question at the end of his dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And one night the question was this: if you assume that the galaxy consists of 100 billion suns and 1% of those could have planets, and 1% of those planets could possibly support life, and 1% of the ones that can support life do, and of those, 1% of those have life that's 1 million years older than we are, so would be more evolved, you are still talking about billions of planets, do you see? So where are they?
So where are they, yes.
Why have the aliens not got here? And the problem is that on any set of rational assumptions, if there is extraterrestrial life out there, they should have been here already.
Perhaps they have been.
Yeah, well, Bob Bussard says, well, yes, they've been here and we're them. that
yes.
People didn't actually evolve on this planet, that we were put here by something. The DNA evidence is becoming clearer and clearer that that's probably not true.
Well, there is quite a bit of mounting evidence that man has been here, or some form of man has been here before.
Yeah, that's kind of Bob Bussard's argument. That's one premise. Another one is that I wrote a series called Janissaries, which is being reissued from Bain Books, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Asimov once said that there is no possible explanation for the notion that beings powerful enough to get here across interstellar distances, if they wanted to remain hidden from us, they could remain hidden from us. There is no explanation for why we would see them at all if they didn't want us to.
Right.
So why haven't they? So if they got here and they haven't walked up, landed on the White House lawn or in the UN Plaza, then it's because they don't want us to know it, and so there's no reason why you would ever see them. And I got thinking about that and realized that Isaac was at Boston University and not there for very long, was mostly a writer. He never been around, let's say, out in Pasadena on the night after final exams at Caltech, has he? So I got to thinking, suppose that the reason that they don't want us to know about them is because they're a bunch of professors of anthropology and they're examining us, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But their graduate students get drunk and put on a show for the locals every now and then. So that's why you sometimes see a flying saucer.
I see.
So I don't claim that's true, you understand. But certainly, as I pointed out to Isaac, at least that's a possible explanation. You can't tell me there is no possible explanation here.
Indeed. Doctor, we're very near the top of the hour here.
Right.
Love to have you for another half hour if you can stick around.
Sure.
All right.
Glad to.
One thing that I would like you to think about during the break.
All right.
Is there was something called the Brookings Report, which I would imagine you're familiar with, that says that the American people are not ready. They are not ready to accept the fact that there is a greater intelligence, or that there would be anybody from elsewhere with a greater intelligence.
Yeah, sure, but the people that wrote that are eggheads.
Well, some of them do radio talk shows. And with the calls I get, I wonder if the Brookings report might not be right. But we'll talk about that when we come back.
All right.
Stay right there. Dr. Jerry.
Premier Networks presents Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from May 10th, 1996.
Top of the morning, everybody. I am Art Bell, and a couple of announcements coming up in a moment. If you missed the last 2 hours, you missed some real fun. Dr. Jerry Pornell, author of Lucifer's Hammer, was my guest. Maybe you can catch it later on in the morning in a repeat. If not, you can always get a copy by calling 1. As a matter of fact, you can get a copy of any guest appearances by calling 1-800-917-4278. 1-800-917-4278. In a moment, a couple of intriguing announcements. Don't move. I would like to announce that this coming Tuesday night, Wednesday morning at 1 a.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. Eastern time, we will have 2 people here. Richard Hoagland and Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell have agreed to meet, incredibly. It should be something to behold. Richard is sending the relevant photographs to Dr. Mitchell in Florida. We'll all be working from the same page. So if you want to hear what's bound to be the radio event of this century, tune in. Actually, I have no idea what will happen. It may be a 5-minute event. It may be a 15-minute event. It may be an explosive event. It may be an informative event. I don't have the slightest idea. I can only tell you they have agreed to meet here, 1 a.m. Pacific time, this coming Wednesday morning. Don't miss it. That's one item. Pretty important one, too. You better put it on your calendar. You don't have a Real Talk yet. You better get a Real Talk. Whatever. Don't miss it. Now listen, I've just received a fax indicating there has just been a 5.4 earthquake in the Virgin Islands. That occurred today, or should I say yesterday evening now. And I would like to open a line for the Virgin Islands. So, would everybody do me a big favor and clear the line at area code 702-727-1222. I want to hear from the Virgin Islands. Get a report on this earthquake. Did you all do a little shaking there in the Virgin Islands? So if you are in the U.S. Virgin Islands, call me now at area code 702-727-1222. U.S. Virgin Islands only. Everybody else, please do us all a favor and back off. I want to get a call or report on this earthquake, 5.4 in the U.S. Virgin Islands. People up in Seattle can tell you that, believe me, you feel those. So, again, the U.S. Virgin Islands only at 702-727-1222. The other item is, it's been a chat week on America Online, and we're going to wrap it up tonight with kind of a special. We're doing that right now. If you would like to join in a chat, my soulmate and great helper is in that chat room right now chatting with you all. It's an opportunity to chat with my wife. Her name is Ramona, and she is presently chatting with people on America Online. So come join in. All you've got to do is get on America Online, go and hit keyword, and type in Periscope. P-A-R-A-S-C-O-P-E, Periscope. When you get to the Periscope area, all you've got to do is go into the Grassy Knoll, what a name, huh? The Grassy Knoll chat room, and there will be Ramona answering lots of embarrassing questions about me. Somebody wanted to know, do I have a pot belly? And she said, no, it's a booty belly. We were in the Orient. A number of young ladies wanted to come up and rub my belly. Good luck, they said. Booty belly. So, look, it's going to be open lines tonight. We're getting so much information on Chupacabra. I've got a Reuters story here tonight, a brand new Reuters story on the Chupacabra, about 2 hours old now. It's beginning to hit the mainstream press everywhere. Los Angeles, everybody's suddenly doing reports on this thing that attacks animals and some humans. Chupacabra. Had a definite request from Linda Howe, who called and said, you know, we heard a rumor that somebody killed a Chupacabra. What can you tell me? She said, we're about to get a report, by the way, on Art's Parts, which I call them. So we'll learn a little bit more. In fact, matter of fact, I would imagine there's going to be some news Sunday on Dreamland about the report coming back on those parts. And I've got more, but we're going to go to open lines now and just see what's out there. I know you're there. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hello.
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 Hello, hello.
Hi.
Turn your radio off.
Hello.
You've got 3 seconds to be intelligent. 1, 2, 3. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Art?
Yes.
Okay, let me turn off my 2 radios. I had country and western here in Birmingham, and you picking it up out of San Antonio, 1200.
How can you listen to country and western? How can you listen to country and western me at the same time?
Sir?
How can you listen to country and western and me at the same time?
I was fixing to light a cigarette, too. I ate nicotine.
You were, huh?
Listen, I was going to tell you about your trumpet.
You mean my Gabriel's trumpet?
Yeah, because I kind of heard part of one tonight. I was outside. I was listening to country then, but I was dying to come listen to you, and now I know why, because the doctor was on there.
Yes.
Anyway, it's got to be more like an alarm clock, okay? Shriller and longer. It's got to be longer.
I wanted to see if we could do this and listen to country music at the same time.
Yeah, it's great to get the talk to you again, man.
See, it doesn't work. You can't do that. You can't do it.
So we got to get you back in Birmingham. I mean, when are we going to pick you up? I mean, it's coming through pretty. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. You can hear the heart pounding, right? Only a UFO could come around and then give me chills and slow me down. But it is so good to get to talk to you and your audience.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, about the polls.
Yes, sir?
I think a lot of people are lying. Like you said, kind of like when you talked about one thing and it happened a couple days later.
Yeah.
I think we're lying to the polls. I think we're going to put old Dole in there, put it in a pineapple, let it grow a little while, and then figure out what we're going to do in the 21st century.
Well, you know what? I hope you're right, but I fear you're not. I think the polls are correct, at least for right now. I think he's... I hardly even want to talk about it. I mean, there's no campaign going on. It's kind of depressing to discuss, in my opinion. If a real campaign begins, then maybe we can sink our teeth into something. But right now, all I see is 4 more years. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Yes, Art. I'm calling from Portland, Oregon.
Yes, sir.
And I was wondering, where at in Oregon has the Chupacabra been located at?
I'm sorry, I don't have the reports about Oregon. I know of them, but yes, it is up there. Why don't you just, where are you? You're in Portland?
Yes.
Well, I would imagine you're in the city?
Yes, sir.
Well, then you're probably safe.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to go out and look for it or anything. I was just wondering.
Why not take a little jaunt out into the woods?
Well, that sounds good. I love your show. I've only been listening for a couple weeks, but it's a great show.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, sir. Yes, take a little stroll in the woods. Take a tape recorder with you, and that way if there's an attack, I doubt that Chupa would want to eat the radio or the tape recorder, so there'd be a record left. Probably be awful. All we'd hear is munching sounds. Or maybe just one. And then you'd be gone. East of the Rockies? No, make that first-time caller line. You're on the air.
Art.
Yes.
This is Jeff from Tucson, Arizona.
How you doing, Jeff? I heard Chupacabra is down in Arizona now.
I haven't heard anything about it, to tell you the truth. I wasn't really calling about that. If that's
well, that's quite all right, but he's down there, so watch yourself.
All right. Well, the first thing I want to let you know is that, I'm 23 years old, and I believe I've been listening to you for at least 10 years, Art. I grew up in Phoenix, and I listened to you on KFYI, and I just wanted to let you know that you've been a part of pretty much my subconscious for most of the time, but my conscious listening for a couple of years now.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. I had two things. First thing is, you can answer this maybe after I get off the air.
All right.
But I was taking a trip up to Alaska to do the work on the fishing boats and possibly in the canneries and stuff. And I understood that I heard that you talked a couple times about how you lived up there. And I was wondering if you had any advice for me.
Any advice for you?
Well, yeah. On how things work up there. I'd heard some stories about, ornery fishing captains, kind of throwing you overboard if they didn't like you or wanted to, if they wanted to get some profit off you or something like that. And
really?
Well, I heard stories about it.
One of the best places you can go in Alaska, sir, is in Kodiak, Alaska. Now, I've got an affiliate in Kodiak where they do a lot of fishing, commercial fishing, and canning and processing. And so, if you like, we'll see if we can get a hold of somebody in Kodiak.
Okay, yeah, I'll listen the rest of the night. I'm in Tucson right now, and I'm listening on KTUC 1400 here.
You bet.
And I'll be listening till 4 o'clock when you get off. The other thing I was wondering about is, you have a lot of militia, type people on here, and, a lot of, I guess it would be described as right-wing type guys. And I was wondering if you yourself, you live in western Nevada. If you yourself own any firearms, and if so, what kind?
All my life, thank you. I own shotguns. I own rifles of various assortments. I have handguns. I've got an AK-47. I've got SKSs. So I have an assortment. Thank you. Been collecting over the years. Now, I want to hear from the Virgin Islands. It just occurred to me that I answered that phone. He was in Tucson. Now, I'm trying to hold that line open for the U.S. Virgin Islands. I want to hear from the Virgin Islands. Do you hear me? Everybody else hold off, please. If you're in the Virgin Islands, area code 702-727-1222. I forgot what I said. I should have adhered to that. Now to Tijuana, Mexico. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Art. This is the first-time caller from Tijuana. It's Enrique.
Yes, sir.
And I want to call about the Chupacabra.
What can you tell us?
Yeah, well, apparently the news that you got is wrong. They found one supposedly dead in a Sonora dam. It apparently drowned there or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's these pictures in the newspaper.
You've got photographs?
Yeah, well, they look like pictures taken from the TV or something.
Oh boy. Listen, do you have a computer?
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's my brother's, and I don't know how to use it.
I would surely love to get those photographs. What publication did they appear in?
Well, it's a Tijuana newspaper called the Heraldo, and it's Thursday's edition.
Thursday's edition. Yeah. And what does this creature look like?
Well, it's sort of like a mixture between like an iguana and a vampire bat. There's a picture of the overall body and then a close-up of the teeth. And so it has wings and a tail and like 4 very sharp fangs in the mouth.
Wow.
You can see that. And yes, it's been around the news, well, at least in Latin America for about the last year or so.
How hot is the news? You're in Mexico, so how hot is the news? How much is Mexican television and radio talking about this thing?
A lot. There's a lot of also Mexican talk show radio talk shows, and it's all over. There's the most respected news show in Mexico is by a man of name of Saludowski. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's like the Mexican equivalent to Brokaw, somebody really important.
Yes.
And like for the last week or so, every day there's story on his newscast. And that is something like, I don't know, incredible, because he is the most respected figure in broadcasting here in Mexico.
Well, you should know that we are also getting many reports in our major media here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, since I'm here in Tijuana, I can get Univision and Telemundo, also the two Spanish broadcasting channels in the USA. And it's also been a daily news since about a year ago. It all started in Puerto Rico, and it's just about extended everywhere.
All right. What is the speculation there about what this damn thing is?
Well, there are those of us, who think that something exists, some kind of mutated vampire bat or something. And then there are some people right now in the Mexican media saying that it's just an invention of the Mexican government so that people have something else to think about besides, the economic difficulties.
Yes, let me ask you about those as long as I've got you. I was in Mazatlan not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was there, I talked to a number of cab drivers and just regular people, and they were saying they think there's going to be a revolution in Mexico.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of talk about that, because of the PRI party ruling for something like 66 years. And, people feel oppressed, and there's the Zapatistas and everything like that. But I wouldn't call it a revolution yet, but it could be. It could be. It could be.
So some people think this might be an invention of the press to keep the minds off.
Yeah, there are those, who think that it's an actual creature preying on innocent animals and stuff. And there are those that say that it's just, something that the government invented so that people would have something else to talk about, and,
Well, that might explain your Mexican press, but it doesn't explain the American press.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
All right, my friend, I thank you for the call and the update. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is apparently now existing, if you believe what you heard, a photograph of a Chupacabra, which this caller in Mexico says drowned. Woof. Are these not strange times we live in? They really are. All right, I'm reserving away, doggone it, hear me, this line for people in the Virgin Islands, because I know you had a 5.4 earthquake in the Caribbean. I want to hear about it. Where was it? How much shaking went on? What's going on in the Caribbean? So if you're in the U.S. Virgin Islands, call me now. Everybody else, don't call me. But if you're in the U.S. Virgin Islands, call me now at area code 702-727-1222. And one other item again, my wife is in chatting on America Online right now in the Periscope section. The way you get there is just go into AOL and hit keyword. Type in Periscope, P-A-R-A-S-C-O-P-E. When you get to the Periscope area, you want to go to the Grassy Knoll chat room. Now, I wonder who thought up that name, the Grassy Knoll chat room.
Now, we take you back to the past on Art Bell Somewhere in Time.
And I'll tell you what, I'm holding open a line only for the Virgin Islands at area code 702-727-1222. That's area code 702-727-1222 for the Virgin Islands only. Anybody else is going to be wasting their money, so please don't call that number until we get a call through from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Good to be here this morning. We're talking about whatever it is you want to talk about. Anything at all happens to be fair game. Virgin Island line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Where are you?
I'm in St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. All right. We just got word here that there was a 5.4 earthquake somewhere near you earlier tonight.
Well, I was listening to the radio, and I heard you say that, but that was the first time that I had heard anything of it.
Well, you know what? That's really good, considering how much trouble you guys have had. If you didn't feel it, then it couldn't have been that bad. And I guess St. Thomas is still cleaning up, isn't it?
Yeah, St. Thomas is still recovering from Hurricane Marilyn.
Yes, indeed. So, in other words, no shaking that you felt.
Not any that I felt.
Oh, that's.
So I was quite surprised to hear anything of it. I experienced no indication of an earthquake.
That's wonderful news. That's absolutely wonderful news. Well, listen, how's everything going in the Virgin Islands? Is it getting back to normal?
It's moving well. You know, many of the houses are under reconstruction or under repairs. It's moving along very well.
Let me ask you about one other thing that we've been talking about on the program since you're way out in the Caribbean. Have you heard any news of this strange creature called the Chupacabra?
Only on your show.
So, in other words, it's not crawling around and sucking the blood of things in the islands there?
No, not at all. No. As far as I know, it only exists on the radio.
No, well, now, don't say that. Now, we had a man from Mexico. You heard that man here a little while ago.
I heard him, yes, I heard him.
So, there may be one drowned and a body floating around somewhere.
He could be, but again, I haven't heard of it.
All right, my friend. I thank you for the report.
Okay, very good.
That's from our affiliate WSTA in St. Thomas, which covers all of the U.S. Virgin Islands. All right, that opens the line then for everybody. Once again, on the first-time caller line at 702-727-1222. I wanted to get that report. It's well then. There was indeed an earthquake, but if it wasn't felt, then certainly there wasn't damage, was there? West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hello, Art.
Hello.
Hey, this is Ed from Portland.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to see if you'd heard anything about the Tacit Blue stealth aircraft the Air Force is releasing now.
Yeah, I've seen photographs of it.
Kind of looks like a flying bus.
It does, doesn't it? It's weird.
Or if you cover off half of it, it looks like one of those old UFO drawings.
Yes. Well, it seems like whatever man can imagine, man has either done or is about to do.
Very true. Well, also, you were in the Air Force?
I was.
You were a medic?
I was.
Was that down at Lackland?
I was at Lackland, thank you, for 8 torturous weeks. Then I went to tech school, Greenville, Mississippi, and Gunner Air Force Base in Alabama, then over to Amarillo Air Force Base in Texas, and then they kicked me out of the country altogether. I went to the Far East.
Oh, you never went over to Europe at all?
No, not Europe. I'm going to Europe this summer.
Oh, a nice place over there.
Well, we'll find out. Thank you very much for the call. Going on vacation around the first part of August. It's not just Europe. I'm going to Moscow. I hear it's a little dangerous, but hell, you only live once, right? So I'm going to go to Moscow. Should be really interesting. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Yes, Art. Steve from South Dakota.
Steve. Yes.
How are you doing?
Fine.
I really enjoyed talking to Mr. Hoagland the other night. Thank you for letting me on.
Well, try and imagine the dynamics of Richard Hoagland and Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell together.
That's going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
Say, I wanted to recommend a book to you and your readers.
Sure.
I tried to get into your guest. There's an author by the name of Duncan Steele.
Oh, I know that name somewhere.
And he put out a book called Rogue Asteroids and Doomsday Comets.
Really?
It's an absolutely spectacular book. It's on the John Wiley and Sons Incorporated. It's a research science, I think it's a research science publisher. And it's a marvelous book. It's got a foreword by Arthur C. Clarke.
No kidding.
Yes, it's an excellent book.
Did you hear Dr. Purnell earlier?
Yes, I did.
He's quite something, isn't he?
He's really delightful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Art.
Thank you, my friend. Take care. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Oh, hi, Art. This is Ed in Finland, California.
How you doing?
Okay, a couple things. One about the Chupacabra.
Yes.
Has they ever heard any noise from this creature? Does it make a sound or...
that's a very good question. And I'm not really familiar whether it does normally make a sound or what.
Because if it could, you could, I guess, have a Chupacabra call and maybe call this thing in and see what happens because
I don't think that'd be such a good idea. Why would you want to call something like that toward you?
Well, of course, you want to capture it. Be ready to capture it. That's the main thing. But you had a recording of the Bigfoot scream.
No, I like this one better.
Ow.
By the way, that's a WAV file now available on my webpage as a WAV file for anybody who wants it.
Well, my other question is, have you ever had anybody talking about electric vehicles and if they're going to ever be practical?
Oh, yes, I certainly have, and I'm particularly fascinated with that whole thing. So we'll try and find another guest who will talk about that, electric vehicles. I'd love to have one. I'd love to have one. Wouldn't that be neat? Hey, listen, if you are listening to us outside the USA, I always forget to do this, and I've sort of been putting it off until we get on shortwave. But, we have so many big 50,000-watt affiliates that you can hear us outside the USA. Of course, Internet Real Audio takes us around the world. So if you're somewhere else in the world, anywhere else, you can call us toll-free. We have the world's first true toll-free international line, and here's how you do it. You call, just pick up the telephone no matter what country you're in and get the AT&T direct access number for your country. They differ from country to country. Or, if you have to, get hold of the AT&T operator and call us at 800-893-0903. That's the way you get hold of us internationally. 800-893-0903. And for you, it'll be toll-free. Won't cost you a penny. Not a penny. To call from anywhere in the world. And I've been neglectful in giving out that number. So there you've got it. Shortly, we'll be on shortwave. We're working very, very hard on that. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, Art. This is Tim in Minneapolis.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I called yesterday about a dream sheet for a ballot box. Do you remember that?
Yes, uh-huh.
You went off the air here in Minneapolis. I was wondering, was there any reaction to that? Or?
No, there wasn't. Only yours. People did not pick up on it. Don't ask me why.
Okay, well, I guess we'll leave it alone then.
All right.
All I wanted to talk about.
All right, thank you. No particular reaction to it. He wanted to see a dream sheet. In other words, on the ballot, you would make a first choice and then other choices, second, third choices, and so forth, so that your vote would mean something. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello. Goodbye. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Art, did you catch the special edition of The Abyss on the Sci-Fi Channel?
No, I've got a copy of The Abyss. That's a great movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had some extra footage with, like, a huge tidal wave at the end.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I saw it advertised in USA Today.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed it.
And I don't have the Sci-Fi Channel, I thought, and I know you said you'd like the film, which I love, too.
Oh, yes, I thought it was
But don't you agree that the end sort of sucked when that thing came up?
No, I thought it was great. Why? I mean, it sort of validated the whole thing when it came up into the real world.
Well, anticlimactic. Like, you're so sucked into that movie. It's so great. And then when that sort of happens, you go, well, wait a minute. I went through all this great stuff for this.
Well, there's always people disappointed in endings. How would you have written the ending to it?
Well, look.
Come on now. Improve on it, sir.
I know. If you're going to criticize, don't criticize unless you can improve.
Yeah, go ahead and improve. Give us an ending.
Well,
use your imagination.
All right. Maybe when that thing came up, it would have had a big poster for Howard Stern's new book, Miss America.
Well, no one's reading it anyway, so what difference would it have made? West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning to you.
I'm calling from California, Sonoma County.
Yes, ma'am.
I called you last Saturday off the air. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I felt a little foolish afterwards, but I still feel the same way.
Well, why don't you tell the audience what you mean?
It's kind of embarrassing. Okay, I was just driving down the freeway, and I'm in a very good mood. Life is good, surf's up, and all of a sudden, I just had these mental pictures of earthquake devastation here in Sonoma County, and, well, actually not just here, but very widespread.
Well, you know, the recent news has been that the Hayward Fault is slipping now at an incredible rate and has been what they actually call lunging. And so it would not surprise me, but to see some activity there soon. So maybe your dreams are prophetic.
Well, wide awake dreams. I mean,
no, I
had a physical reaction.
Yes, It's called lucid dreaming.
Is that what it's really called?
That's what it's really called.
Well, I was at a friend's house today. She lives in a very nice condo, and she had to have a locksmith come in and adjust her lock because the place is always shifting so much.
Yes.
And just from earth shifting, you know. But that in itself is not bad. I mean, it's like a flagpole. It has to give. I want to ask you really quickly, I've heard you over the past few months saying, do you think I'm the Antichrist?
No.
Well, you said
No. The way it happened is here, but we've got to get this straight here.
Okay.
Some fellow called me. It's a now famous call. It's even on the internet, and called me the devil's mouthpiece. The devil's mouthpiece.
Well, you know what?
What?
I think the way the devil operates, the Bible says he appears as an angel of light.
I'm telling you, it's not true. It's not true.
Ooh, don't. It's 2 o'clock. I'm in the kitchen alone.
That's right. It's not true. Snap out of it. Wild card line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art. This is Bill calling from Youngstown, Ohio.
Hi, Bill.
As per Chupacabra, I don't think I have too much to contribute, nor did I call to name drop, but I have do some readings for some people in very high places in Puerto Rico and the government. And I've had 3 calls, maybe over the past month, just asking me if I can get any take on this. And I have a feeling they might be involved with UFOs. It's just a gut feeling. But I can tell you this, that these official people are very, very scared. They're taking it very seriously.
I know it. Thank you. There's a lot of people taking this very seriously. People think that I'm crazy. I, of course, pick up on these things a little earlier than most others because we delve into these sorts of topics. So we had it early on, and a lot of people were criticizing, saying, oh, come on, this is baloney, all the rest of it. And then so many press stories began to hit. And people aren't saying that anymore. It's obvious that something is here, something is going on. There is something to this, but I don't know what. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art.
I can barely hear you.
Okay, I'm on a bad cordless here.
Yeah, you really are. Where are you?
I'm in Duluth, Minnesota, calling about that egg that someone called about earlier.
Yes, is there any truth to it? A 5-foot egg?
Yeah, there's truth to it.
No, you're kidding. What could lay a 5-foot egg?
Well, see, I don't know. It washed up on the lake, and some kids found it, threw it in the truck, and brought it to the zoo.
You've got to be kidding. And they've detected, the caller said they've detected some sort of heartbeat or something?
Yeah, there's vital signs.
What?
And I don't understand, but I want to get basically the news thinks that it's a hoax, but they're not letting anyone see it right now in quarantine.
And where is it exactly?
It's at the Lake Superior Zoo.
All right. Well, listen, thank you for the call. I don't know what to think anymore. This used to be the kind of thing that you'd laugh off. What the hell would lay a 5-foot egg? A 5-foot egg. I wouldn't even want to see the thing that would lay a 5-foot egg. Well, I would say it's impossible, but what would come out of a 5-foot egg? Nothing you'd want to see. Dr. Purnell had it right when he said you're going to want to put an M1A1 Abrams with its main turret pointed right at the egg. That sucker begins to crack open, who knows? East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Megaditos, Art. Oh, that's the wrong show.
Yeah.
Right. How you doing?
Okay.
I've got I got two observations. Well, one observation is you got speech patterns like David Brinkley. Has anybody ever told you that?
I've been told that.
And a question or a request. Did you ever think about having Roy Masters on?
Sure.
When you have, really?
I've interviewed him in years past, of course.
Yeah, that's an interesting guy, isn't it?
Yep.
And he means a lot to me. Roy Masters he's done a lot for me, and I just think the world of Roy Masters. He's a good fella.
Yes, he is.
And well, actually, if I just could be melodramatic, but I guess you could say he's saving a life.
Well,
in a certain way.
He has a view of life that is different than many people are willing to accept. And a lot of people tend to respond to his message with anger, but that's natural. And he'll be the first to tell you, you got to hit people over the head or they don't listen.
He's been on the radio he's been doing what he's been doing for 40 years. He's only got 25 stations. And how long's Rush you guys been doing yours? How long you been doing radio?
Oh, all my adult life. I've been doing this program for about 12 years now, coast to coast for about 12 years.
So Roy can't even get more than 25 stations. And Rush and y'all got 700, 800 stations.
Yeah,
I guess you can see his message is not really easy to swallow.
Well, that's because it's not a traditional message.
Oh, yes, it is. I think it is a traditional message that's been buried.
Well, I understand that you think that, but I'm saying that a lot of people who hear it for the first time, as you can tell in the preamble to his program, get angry or get upset or whatever.
Well, anyhow, sometimes have it on again sometime pretty soon.
All right. Take care, my friend. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. Nonpartisan Tim in San Diego.
How you doing?
Pretty good. I just want to update you on that sperm count deal.
Yes?
In Time Magazine this week, there's a report that that original finding was not right.
Well, that they went to New York City and found, in fact, higher than normal sperm counts.
Yeah, in general, the sperm counts are remaining stable or rising. But, yeah, New York City...
And then there's that 5-foot egg. I mean, come on.
That's going to be a hoax.
You think so?
Yeah. It's fun to think about stuff like that, but it's going to be a hoax.
Would you stand next to a 5-foot egg while the hoax hatched?
No.
No? Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Good talking to you, Art.
All right, take care. How many of you would be willing to stand, as it began to crack open and the first hairy protrusions began to be apparent, and then a claw comes out. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hello. Hello, hello. Going once, twice, three times. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hello, Art.
Hi.
Boy, it's murder getting hold of you.
I know. Where are you?
I'm in Fort Smith. This is Jason again.
Fort Smith, Arkansas. All right.
Yeah. Got a few things for you tonight.
Go.
First, that guy in Portland is the one that lives in the city, wants to meet the Chupacabra.
He doesn't really want to meet it.
Maybe he should go out in the woods and knock on some logs. He might be able to meet a Bigfoot and Chupacabra both.
That's what I told him. Go on out there, take a tape recorder so we can hear the sounds while it eats you.
Yeah. Another thing, with that Hoagland debate, is there a station west of the Rockies that I can pick up here?
Oh, that's right. It might be late for you, huh?
Yeah, because I'll be going off the air.
Well, I don't know. I would say call your radio station and say, hold that sucker over because we want to...
1996.
Oh, I'll tell you, the faxes are boiling in from Mexico, from Rosarita, D.C., Mexico. Dear Art, what Enrique from Tijuana failed to mention is that the Chupacabra has been attacking sheep and goats in Rosarito and Ensenada, as close as 20 miles south of the U.S. border. It is true the Chupacabra is daily news here. Many believe they are related to the numerous UFOs that also are being sighted here. That's from Diane. Thank you, Diane. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yes, this is Shane from Texas.
Hi, Shane.
Yeah, I talked to you last night, and I just wanted to say that, that was the first time I'd been on the radio, and I was a little kind of shook up. But
everybody is, Shane, when they first get on.
Well, Art, I'd like to bring up that here's two names for you that you can ask about Chupacabra. Dr. Jacques Vallée did a book called Confrontations in 1990 where he went down for a few years to Brazil to study a thing called the Chupas. And Chupas have been accused of killings. Okay, and there's an American reporter, Bob Pratt, from Florida, who also wrote another book, but I don't know the name of it, but he wrote it in 93, and these guys are pretty good in the field. Dr. Jacques Vallée is a good UFO researcher.
I know exactly who he is, yes.
Right. Now, I was surprised to see that he wrote a book. Now, I'm doing a study on this, and I thought I'd keep you informed. And his book is called Confrontation, and it was published in 1990.
All right, well, we'll look into it.
And it was on Chupa.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll look into it. Thank you very much. On the Chupas. Sounds like the same thing. Chupacabra. Chupas. 5-foot egg. I'm still thinking about that 5-foot egg. You think that could be real? What the hell could lay a 5-foot egg? Dinosaur, maybe. I don't even know if dinosaurs laid eggs. What could lay a 5-foot egg? Can't be true. And if it is true, then there's definitely something new under the sun. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art.
Yes, hello.
Hi, this is Corey from Vancouver, Washington.
Corey, you're breaking up a little bit, partner.
Oh, I'm on a cell phone. I'm sorry about that.
Turn your radio off, Corey.
Okay. I just wanted to find out if there's anything going on with the tethered satellite. I haven't heard anything about that.
Oh, it burned up long ago, Corey. Thank you. It burned up long ago. The tethered satellite re-entered and went and burned up to a cinder. So there's nothing new on it because it doesn't exist anymore. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi. How about a 20-foot chicken?
To lay a 5-foot egg?
Yeah. Well, why not? I mean, if there's Chupacabra, if there's Bigfoot, if there's life on the moon,
then why
not a 20-foot chicken?
Why not a 20-foot chicken?
Why not?
Well, it could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Something to give consideration to.
Some for Colonel Sanders to get his hands on.
Watch out for those big drumsticks, Art.
Yeah, all right, thank you. A 5-foot egg. I don't know if I believe this. Now, I've had 2 reports. They say they've got it. They say they've detected signs of life inside. How many of you believe that? Hold up your hands. It's getting weird out there. Really getting weird out there. Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Hey, Art, this is Eric in Pullman.
Hi, Eric.
Couple quick comments. One, that your cat noise, it works on dogs, too.
Well, dogs, I am told, enjoy it. You know, it is apparently the sound of a cat getting its tail stepped on, and it seems to entertain dogs greatly.
A second point was on...
No. You're fading out on us.
Hold on a second. Is that better?
Oh, you've got a portable phone, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, this is the sound, ladies and gentlemen, of what happens when you get interfered with on a portable phone.
Yes. The second comment was on NASA.
Yes.
And they found that rats that they were reproducing in outer space, the babies developed quicker.
I'll be darned. Well, listen, I'm going to leave now because that's awful. That is what happens when you get interfered with. Did you hear that kind of warbly tone in the background? That was another. Well, in the first channel, he had 2 channels. First channel, he was breaking up. Lousy, typical portable phone. Then what he did was, when you heard him go click, he switched channels, and he was on the same channel as somebody else. That's why those old portable phones need to be put in trash compactors. First time caller line, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello. No, guess not. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, hey, Art. This is Mike again from North Dakota.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah, a couple nights ago you were talking about that letter that you got from that guy that sent you that stuff from Oswell.
Yes.
I was wondering if you were going to comment on that tonight or not.
All right, you've got it. I did promise, so let me do it. I've got a follow-up letter from the guy who sent the Roswell parts. Let me read it to you, all right? Hi, Art. At great risk, I am writing to you in regard to the package sent your way. I had opportunity to listen to a tape recording of the radio broadcast when I returned home after having participated in the mobility readiness exercises. My son, who is a senior in college, recorded them for me. I must say I was somewhat surprised by the negative and closed-minded responses directed your way by some of your own listeners. You seem to indicate that receiving the package has vastly upset your life. And in this I would like to say it was not my intention. I offer my apologies. Further information regarding the Roswell crash and my own grandfather's affiliation would likely be potentially beneficial to your efforts at correlation and verification. In this regard, I can only say, based on past conversations on the subject with Granddad, that the retrieval team consisted of 3 segments: the on-site team, the in-house team, and the security team. The credentials of the team members weren't only military-related. There were individuals with backgrounds from the University of Colorado, Office of Naval Research, AAF/USAF, and U.S. Army, UCLA, and the Atomic Energy Commission and the National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics, and the Office of Scientific Research and Development. Additionally, there were consultants from England, France, and Russia involved. Granddad stated their own analysis of the samples indicated it was pure extract aluminum as a conductor for the electromagnetic fields created in the propulsion systems. However, critically needed data was eliminated by the self-destruct mechanisms on the disk vehicle itself. Furthermore, the occupant survivor of the crash refused to disclose technical information despite a series of interrogative attempts to extract technological data. No means could be found to secure the information. There were always 2 security team members present at every face-to-face meeting with the survivor. The survivor had the ability to deduce thoughts and questions prior to them being asked. Sometimes it became frustrating. The disk itself was literally dissected, and it was discovered that the propulsion system had actually fused together the many interior components. There were control-type devices forged in the shape of the alien hand, which were assumed as controls and activation surfaces. What is today fiber optic technology was part and parcel of the alien technology within the control panels, albeit fused and melted when the self-destruct mechanism was activated. There were Westinghouse-affiliated persons on the team, and Granddad always thought some of them had gone back with the knowledge and incorporated it into the future research with our phone systems. Of course, the military was concerned as to the ability of the aliens to enter our atmosphere at will, undetected, and thusly they recommended to our president that a space program be set into motion, and that a system of satellites be placed into orbit by 1957. The satellite system would be patched into the then DEW-line early warning systems, which later became NORAD. Granddad stated that it was his opinion that NORAD was formed not only to track possible ICBMs from hostile nations, but as an established detection system for UFO craft. That is why the NASA Space Agency has been incorporated by and large with our armed forces. There are so many classified missions. This is my opinion, but Granddad prophesied such occurring as far back as 1971. Well, I'm scheduled to travel back to Charleston Air Force Base, then Pope. I'll mail this from somewhere in South Carolina. It's not likely I'll communicate again. My wife is concerned, as am I, that the intelligence agencies are going to easily put 2 and 2 together, so it's inadvisable to further communicate this information. I hope you understand my position. I could likely face a courts-martial or sedition charges for stating some of the information and opinions. You'd be surprised at the extent of internal policies on this subject and the consequences for current commissioned officers talking about UFO phenomena. I was surprised by Edgar Mitchell's statements of recent date I imagine there are many involved with Roswell who are a bit upset at events underway. However, he is a man of outstanding character and integrity and knows of what he speaks, as do quite a few other astronauts. I wish you all the best. I'll be listening. I commend your courage and integrity. Hope your listeners understand that the subject of Roswell has great potential to extrapolate the truth about UFOs and what has come to be known as a cosmic Watergate. It's only the tip of the iceberg. Granddad said when the truth does come out, humanity will be changed beyond comprehension. He also said many on the in-house team lobbied to release this information to the public. Not all of them were paranoid in trusting the public with the truth. Sign me, still a friend. And that was indeed mailed from Charleston, South Carolina, as was the original package. So there you are. You wanted to hear about it. You heard about it. That is the second letter. First reading of it, too. Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Charlie Liberal in California.
Hey.
You've had several people criticize Bill Clinton on taking things from Republicans. I want to say this about liberalism. The concept of liberalism has not changed. What's happened with Bill Clinton is that liberalism has evolved, not changed. We're still interested.
Did you say evolved or devolved?
Evolved.
Evolved. I see.
Liberalism is we still support the environment, education, and we still have that one word that conservatives simply do not understand. They cannot comprehend. It's called compassion.
Compassion.
And I think it's conservatives who don't understand that you can be fiscally responsible and compassionate.
No, well, what conservatives don't understand is liberals that want to be compassionate constantly with other people's money.
Well, here's the thing about it. The thing about other people, this quote-unquote other people's money.
OPM.
Okay? Yeah. The government basically has the authority to spend a certain given amount of money.
Other people's money.
Well, you can say that, but the thing is...
I just did.
But the thing is
because they have no source of money. They have no source of money other than other people's money.
The question is, how are we going to spend it? Are we going to spend it investing in an overdone military? Or are we going to spend it making sure that our elderly are taken care of, making sure that the environment is taken care of?
Well, when you spend it on the military, to some degree, you ensure the elderly are taken care of, Charles.
Well, I think when you spend it on the elderly, you make sure they're taken care of. But that's what the problem. And the problem is that it's amazing they can talk about other people's money, but the thing about it. The thing about it is that when you talk about elderly, or you're talking about the handicap, or you're talking about young people trying to get an education, those are positive investments. And this is what conservatives don't understand. When they think about an investment, they think about an investment in stock or whatever. They don't think about investing in people. They don't think about being compassionate toward people. They are not, and the conservatives are just not people-oriented. And we happen to be people-oriented. And we're not going to change.
But what liberals do that conservatives object to is that no matter what the problem is, the solution is throwing money at it.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think that's a lie that the conservatives have been saying for years.
No, it's true.
Not throwing money at it, but the thing is that we are not afraid to spend money if you can get a positive result. And I think the conservatives basically believe that people should just be left out in the cold. And
but Charlie, the difference is that liberals, even when you've got a program that we can all stand back and say it's failed, it's not working, the money's going down a black hole, the liberals, their solution is to throw more money at it in the hopes that more money might cause it to...
Come on. Well, the problem, and this is why the guys like Newt Gingrich, their popularity has gone down, is because rather than trying to change welfare, which liberals want to do, rather than trying to change that, for example, they simply say, okay, we'll give a state a few billion dollars and do what you want.
Well, look, here's the argument, Charlie. Look, let's get down to the argument on welfare for a second. What the conservatives say is not that there should not be welfare, but that it should be administered at a local level.
Oh, that's a bunch of bull. What the conservatives say is that we'll give you some money, and if the money runs out, well, that's just too damn bad.
Yeah, but
and
see,
that's not
if it's administered, Charlie, at a local level where real decisions about real people's needs can be made, then you won't have to spend all that money. But when it's done at a federal level, most of the money is always wasted and taken and defrauded and all the rest of it.
It's not about, you know something, if I honestly wish what you were saying is true, but what you're saying is absolutely, you've been brainwashed by people like Newt Gingrich who give you that kind of garbage all the time. But the bottom line is this: we are interested in real reform, but real reform doesn't mean going into a glass house with a sledgehammer and breaking everything in sight and slashing everything in sight. That is not reform.
All right, Charles, look. You're wrong. And the difference between liberals and conservatives is not that we don't have compassion. It's that we've got good, clear sight. And we can see that programs administered at the federal level generally take about 80 or 90 cents to get 10 cents to anybody at the user end, because of the godforsaken bureaucracy that's generated by these liberal programs. And so the latest, greatest idea of the conservatives, and it's a good one, is to get these things done at the local level so that you can have real people looking and talking to real people and ensuring there are real problems before real checks are cut. And I think you're going to be amazed, Charles, when you see some of these programs finally come to local, state, local levels, and you see how much less fraud and waste there is. Then the people that you claim you want to care for will be cared for, and a lot of people who could be out there working when they're warming their backsides on a couch, courtesy of the federal government, get off these programs. That's the difference. There's compassion and then just blind spending. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Going once. Gone. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Good morning, Art. This is Reggie in Vallejo.
Hey.
I have a thought concerning your 5-foot egg.
Not mine. My 5-foot egg.
The reported 5-foot egg.
With my luck lately, somebody will send me a 5-foot egg.
That'd be interesting. I believe that in light of this egg, the movie Aliens might be a documentary and not just a plain movie. And this big egg is the queen bee of the colony.
Well, that's a cheery little thought.
Well, enjoying your show. Have a good evening.
I'm glad you are. Thank you very much for the call. We're going to break here at the bottom of the hour. Boy, think about it, folks. The size of an omelet one could construct with a 5-foot egg. Talk about a breakfast.
You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring Coast to Coast AM from May 10th, 1996.
Hi, this is Dan from Garden Grove, California. How you doing?
Fine, Dan.
I got a couple of statements and a couple of questions.
All right.
If it's all right?
Statements first.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Number one, Charlie is a moron. Number two, if Robin Williams pops out of that 5-foot egg, I'm going to be very upset. Also, I am going on a trip to Houston, and I was wondering if I could get the station out there.
Of course you can. We're number one in Houston. Didn't you know? KTRH in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the numbers for that?
Oh, the numbers for that. Let's see. Houston. 740 on the dial.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I told my friend I'd turn them on to you. Also, I was wondering if you had any information on Hale-Bopp for me.
Nothing you want to know.
Oh, really? Because I was kind of wondering how big it was going to be in the sky and stuff like that.
Well, Actually, by about this time next year, it should be taking up about 20% of the sky.
Okay, yeah, because my dad's like a major astronomer. And unfortunately, he's got the telescope I wish I had. And since we got to the desert, we're going to check it out up there anyways.
All right.
All righty. Well, you have a good evening. Or morning, I'm sorry.
Morning it is, and listen to us while you're in Houston. No problem. All around Houston, I guarantee. 5-foot egg. Chupacabras. Alien artifacts. So much going on these days. There's no truth to this thing about Bob Dole. He hasn't chosen his vice president, has he? I don't believe that. See, anytime you get something unsigned, pretending to be a news release, you've got to be careful. Another thing is I want some calls from Cheyenne, Wyoming, to confirm something. Good old Doc Barry in Phoenix has sent me a fax saying the bacteria that caused 100 deaths in Milwaukee 2 years ago has been found in Cheyenne, Wyoming's water supply. Convenience stores, he says there, have been sold out of bottled water. Now I'm on the air in Cheyenne, KRAE in Cheyenne. So let's find out. Attention, Cheyenne, call now. Everybody else hold off. Give them a minute, just a minute, folks, to get through on our West of the Rockies line. It's a beautiful thing about being nationwide this way. If something happens, we can find out about it. Verify the rumor or knock it down. So if you're in Cheyenne, Wyoming, call me now at 1-800-618-8255. Everybody else, please put the phone down. Just let the people in Cheyenne get through for a few minutes here so we can find out if this is true. By the way, he also says CBS News, radio news, is reporting the poisonous heroin problem in Philadelphia is now overloading emergency rooms in Baltimore. Can't believe it. Regular listeners to this program know that we talked about this in a sort of an esoteric way several days ago, and here it is. Unbelievable. Absolutely, truly unbelievable. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was wondering if you could tell me what Gordon Cooper had to say on Paranormal Borderline.
Sure. Yes, I will. He said that when he was at Edwards Air Force Base, there was a flying saucer that came down and landed. He moreover stated that a military film crew who happened to be filming some training exercises filmed this flying saucer, and when it landed, they rushed toward it, filming as they went. It lifted off, retracted its landing gear, and shot straight up like a bat out of hell, and that they got all of this on film. A report was filed. The film was sent to Washington. It's not been seen since. That came from Gordon Cooper. U.S. astronaut Gordon Cooper. Believe it if you wish. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art. This is Robert in Everett.
Robert in Everett, yes.
Listen, back about 1994, when you used to have your show out of Vegas, right?
Yes.
You had Al Bielek on.
Yes.
And he talked about an experiment in sex in space. Do you remember that?
An experiment where?
In space.
No, he talked about the Philadelphia experiment.
Oh, but somebody called and asked him, has there ever been sex in space? Do you all remember that? And he said it was like the dolphins do in water. It took 3 of them to do it.
No,
I remember that.
Well, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Now, I'm not sure. Now, does Cheyenne call my east or west of there? Cheyenne, call both lines. 1-800-618-8255. Or if you can't get that one from Cheyenne, call 1-800-825-5033. Not exactly sure which line is active in Cheyenne, one of the two. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
This is Lewis from Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering, Gordon Michael Scallion had some thermal image maps, and I was wondering what website that was that got them.
They're on no website, sir. He has produced those commercially. They're the gigantic maps. His most recent of the world, future map of the world. It's on no website. That's copyrighted material.
Oh, okay. But I did find a thermal map tonight that I did find, and I think he's on to something that we didn't count on, and I saw something that kind of... I had to walk away from the keyboard for a minute and come back and look again to make sure I was seeing it right.
I think you're actually talking about Stan Deo's thermal maps.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's right. They're up there now, and there are some very, very worrisome things, very worrisome on Stan's latest maps. You're going to want to take a look at that. We need to get hold of Stan again in Perth, Australia. I probably ought to give him a call and let him explain it. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, I'm in Wenatchee. I think Cheyenne is east of the...
Well, I know it is, but that was not the point. The point was we've got a break in the lines, you know, east to west, and they included a lot of the west in the west of the Rockies line. So it may be, I'm not sure which one Cheyenne would call. You see, I'm not so much where the Rockies are, but where the phone company decided to divide it. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Turn your radio off, please.
Yeah, I got it.
That's good. Where are you?
I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis. All right.
Okay, are you ready for this now?
Probably not. Does it involve the 5-foot egg?
No, I don't know about this 5-foot egg thing, but I want to talk about three things. First thing I want to talk about is this flying bird you're talking about.
Chupacabra.
And you were mentioning this incision where it goes in a single wound?
It's a dual wound, actually. Two.
And then inside...
There's 4.
If you're a fisherman, Art, a fish hook does that. There's a barb on the fish hook.
Yeah.
A single wound goes in, and then the damage is on the inside from the barb. Well, that's what must be happening.
Yeah, but what about when the fish hook pulls out?
Well, I imagine if this bird is biting you, it probably doesn't pull out until you're dead.
That's a good point.
Okay, next thing I want to talk about is the crater on the moon.
What crater? There's many.
It's got a dome or a glass dome or whatever?
Oh, the Richard Hoagland stuff, yes.
Do you have the number of this crater?
No.
International Astronomical Union crater number?
No, Richard Hoagland does, though.
My uncle was a big shot with NASA, and I was a kid in high school, and I was really into it, and he sent me I got piles and piles of pictures, but I've only got one picture of the dark side of the moon from an Apollo mission number 10, and you know my brother doesn't believe any of this stuff, but I've been looking at this thing now since I've heard about this.
And
I got a picture, and you can see there's something down here in this crater. But if you knew what I don't know if this is, maybe I'm just,
Crazy?
No, I'm not crazy, but it's
a crater creature?
It's kind of hard. No, there's something there. It's some kind of it's not a big rock or anything, but anyway, I got the picture,
Well, hold on to it or send it to Richard Hoagland, and don't miss the Hoagland-Mitchell debate coming up Wednesday. Wonder how that's going to turn out. I really, really, really wonder how that's going to turn out. That's going to be quite something. No doubt about it. Again, the magic of radio takes us to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and our affiliate there, KRAE. You're in Cheyenne, sir?
Yes, hi, Art.
Hi.
This is Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy. What can you tell us about the water there?
Well, I haven't been drinking it, and I don't think anybody else that knows about this is drinking it. But
well, we didn't know about it until just about an hour ago when I got a fax from all places in Arizona saying you had trouble with your water supply. What's the deal?
According to the news release from the Wyoming Health Department, it says the Wyoming Department of Health received notification from the Environmental Protection Agency in Denver of a possible high-level contamination of the Cheyenne municipal water supply with a microscopic organism known as Cryptosporidium.
Cryptosporidium.
So the Wyoming Department of Health, in collaboration with the Cheyenne-Laramie County Health Department, has issued a warning to residents who may have immunocompromised family members to boil water or use bottled water until further notice.
Wow.
The state epidemiologist explains that there is some question as to the validity of the results of these tests due to high algae levels, which can sometimes present false results. However, because the risk which may be posed to individuals who are more susceptible to infection, such as HIV-positive individuals or cancer patients receiving chemotherapy, makes issuance of a warning a necessity.
So
the epidemiologist said this may well end up being a false alarm, but we can't take any chances. Further testing will be ongoing over the weekend. They hope to have results by Monday so they can say yes or no.
When did this news break?
Sometime this evening. I was asleep myself.
Oh, okay. So it's late news then.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, okay. That's very unsettling.
I guess everybody's in a panic out here.
Yeah.
My understanding is that if you're in good health, you may have no symptoms at all, even if there really is cryptosporidium in the water. But if you're a weak or ill person, it could have serious effects. Over 100 people died from this in Milwaukee 3 years ago.
Well, I guess that I would not drink the water until I heard the final report.
Right. Well, we don't need an excuse to drink bottled goods here, but we have one.
Well, I really appreciate your updating us. So it apparently is absolutely true.
It is true that the Environmental Protection Agency has notified the Wyoming Health Department of a possible high-level contamination of our water supply.
All right, my friend. Thank you. There you've got it, folks, and I appreciate the input from Cheyenne. More and more of that kind of thing these days. And there are a lot of people with suppressed immune systems who would be vulnerable. Maybe it's nature's way of sort of, the old survival of the fittest, right? Boy. Cryptosporidium. Doesn't sound good at all, does it? West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Art.
Yes.
Yes, I've been listening to Jack here in Vancouver, BC.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening with interest all the Chupacabra discussion going down. I've just been thinking about different places it might have showed up in literature and history. And the first one I thought of was a book from somewhere in the middle 1800s. It's called A Son of Noah.
Yes, sir.
It would be an antediluvian fantasy involving the discovery of an advanced race who worship a pterodactyl-like creature.
Maybe the Chupacabra.
Or something like it.
If you were to have to hazard a guess about whether this is something old, something new, something that's come through, what do you think it is?
Well, most likely would be that it had been warped out of some strange laboratory, I would think. If it was new, if it's something old, then we're probably in trouble. And maybe the 5-foot egg is a Super Chupa egg.
A Super Chupa egg. Oh, sir.
Best I can do, sorry.
Super Chupa egg. That's pretty good, actually. Thank you very much for the call. Dr. Purnell, who we had as a guest, said you really ought to have an M1A1. If there really is this big 5-foot egg, a turret should be pointed straight at it. When it begins to crack, you have options,
This is Premier Networks. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere in Time. Somewhere in Time with Art Bell continues, courtesy of Premier Networks.
Those of you on the IRC chat channel will be happy to hear the following. Beginning next week, I am picking up a second internet provider. So, yes, I'll come visit the IRC chat channel. That's beginning next week. I've been working on that for a while, and I didn't want to say anything until I had it nailed down. You'll hear about it next week. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Charles from St. Louis.
Hi, Charles.
So you're not going to hear any more from this guy that sent the Roswell debris?
Well, I just read you the last letter I got, and you heard it same as I did.
So he's out of it.
I read you the letter, sir. I can't tell you any more than that.
Okay, so you haven't heard, you don't know when we're going to hear anything?
I think we're going to have the results from the test, preliminary results anyway, by Dreamland Sunday.
Oh, you will?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Oh, good, okay. Because I was wondering about that, and I'll be listening for it.
All right, well, we'll probably have it. I mean, Linda Howe's going to be here, and I got a message from her earlier today saying, well, I don't know. Anyway, we'll probably have something for you then. She said she had something on it, so we'll see. Hey, Art, I'll bet you whatever laid that 5-foot egg has a seriously bruised backside. What do you think, Richard and Covina? And that may be topped simply by Bryn Marie in San Francisco, who says, I've got pretty good guess as to the creature sounds, what the creature sounds like that laid that 5-foot egg. Ouch, is what she says. Yes, that would be, of course, you know, a 5-foot egg might not be a problem for a 20-foot chicken. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
How you doing, Art?
I'm all right.
This is Daryl in Houston.
Yes, sir.
When are you going to get the shortwave on?
Well, it's in progress, sir. It involves a transatlantic satellite link and a commissioning of a Eastern European large shortwave station. We're working on it now.
Okay, because KTRH always cuts us off.
Well, I mean, morning shows begin.
Yeah, well, I want to hear it all.
All right, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Tonight on Fox News, they had a report, get this, of a Chupacabra attack in the city of Sylmar, California. 20 chickens attacked in one night, drained of blood. Animal control officers tried to blame it on weasels, but when asked about the lack of blood in the bodies, they could not explain. I think they come up with a better explanation than that. At least the Mexico governors try a giant bat sounded better. Man, oh man, oh man, what is going on with all of this Chupacabra business? What began as a trickle has become a flood. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Hello.
I have 3 questions for you. First of all, you were born in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, U.S. Naval Hospital. How long ago was that?
In other words, you're asking my age.
Well, you can tell me, was it like in 69 on the station there?
I was born, sir, June 17th, 1945.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Well, that's one. Secondly, regarding the water situation in Cheyenne, that came down over the news lines that there is a parasite in their water.
Well, they suspect, yes. Mm-hmm.
Came over the news wires to us.
Well, I just talked to someone in Cheyenne, gave us the whole story,
right.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And the El Chupacabra.
Yes.
Well, maybe that's what that egg is, right?
I hope not. It would be about the right size, though.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So we here in Odessa, Texas, will be watching out for it.
Well, Texas is the place of big, right?
Yes.
So...
We thought it was just a small Texas chicken.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Have a good morning. Odessa. KRIL, I think, in Odessa. Boy, my memory's getting better. I've always had a good memory for things that I want to remember. Call letters have always been easy for me. Radio station, ham calls, that kind of thing. But it's a very selective memory. Very selective. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, it's Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Hey, you know what, Elizabeth?
What?
I got a cryptic message earlier tonight saying that you had been banned from the local talk station up there.
Well...
Is that true?
A right-wing brother and a left-wing brother bought a radio station together.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And the left-wing brother is an incredibly good-looking attorney who won a very major free speech case here in Portland.
Yes?
And I was banned by the right-wing brother.
Really?
But the very last episode was...
Why were you banned?
Because they like to use liberals for cannon fodder. What do you think?
Well, I know, but why would they ban you? I mean, if you don't have anything to aim your cannon at, what fun is it?
Well, I haven't been banned by the left-wing brother. The last thing that happened, I called his show. The board operator was going to cut me off. The left-wing brother said, cut Elizabeth off, and I'm getting up and walking out of here, and you can do this show by yourself.
Wow.
And that was the end of it for now. I'm not calling that station anymore, but...
I mean, what did you do to cause this? Just be yourself?
No, I think I defended liberalism too successfully.
Oh.
Which is why I called, incidentally.
Really?
Well, actually, first of all, I have to tell you that I'm very depressed.
Why?
And I'm not going to stop being depressed until I can debate the quickening, until I can wrestle it to the floor, until I can drive a stake through its filthy little heart.
Well, yeah, but you can't do that to something that exists. I mean, it's like people trying to erase history.
I don't think so, and I think that I could drive a stake through its heart, and I want you to give me the chance to do that. But tonight, the reason I called
is
because, Charlie Liberal almost hit upon something. He missed. And, I don't really align myself with Charlie Liberal because I don't favor his particular slant on liberalism. I don't find it vigorous, robust enough, but...
Really?
Really. But, I've been thinking a lot about the difference between false conservatism, and I think this is what he was aiming at, and true conservatism. And there's a huge difference.
Well, I was trying to explain that to him.
Well, true conservatism is... There is none. I mean, it's completely evaporated from our culture. We have no true conservatism. That's why we have the Montana militia, who think that they're conservatives, but they've made a pact, they've made a covenant with Yahweh. They want to start a revolution. They've had a revelation. True conservatism is not revelationary. It's not like Reverend Rush has a revelation and, we're going to have a right-wing revolution and all that stuff. It's not like that.
The Reverend Rush.
True conservatism is dead in our culture, and I aim to revive it.
Well, you're trying to put a stake through all kinds of things here, aren't you?
No, I'm going to revive something for us. I'm going to revive, the chief virtue of true conservatism is practical wisdom. Now, don't you see that we need that in our society?
Practical wisdom? Yes, of course I do. Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I'd like to talk to you about this another time, but anyway, congratulations on your rating success. You deserve it.
Thank you.
Your philosophy of talk radio is perfect.
Well, it's just what it is, and it's successul.
You may have a dark mind, Art, but your philosophy of talk radio is above criticism.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. Take care. That's Elizabeth. Banned in Portland. Banned in Portland. Oh, why do people do that? I don't know why people do that. It's kind of thing where it seems to me any talk host, and this is not a reflection, or maybe it is, on those people up there, worth their salt, will take anything on. I mean, why ban people? There's only a couple reasons to ban people, and that's bad language and libelous statements. Other than that, any talk host who is not willing to accept whatever comes along is either lazy, in my opinion, or inadequate. Lazy or inadequate. That's a pretty rough charge, I know, but, this should be an open forum. And people behind microphones ought to be willing to take on whatever comes. I'm not intimidated, frightened by, or scared of whatever comes up on the phones. It's fun. And, if it's going to be somebody yelping and screaming and screeching at you because they don't agree with you, then that's what it's supposed to be all about. This is not just a mutual admiration society. You've got to allow that kind of stuff on the air, and if you don't, then I don't know what you're doing. Then you've got some sort of a choir out there, or the choir is the only one allowed in to say anything, is just not good talk radio, in my opinion. But I think a lot of other people catch on to this. Our ratings success will ensure that. And the other philosophy of talk radio that I have, that I feel very strongly about, is that you don't limit conversations to anything in particular. You just do whatever comes up. Sure, I might stimulate you toward one topic or another, but as you well can tell from listening, anything can come up and divert the show in any direction at all, and I wouldn't have it any other way. This, too, is something that if talk radio does not open itself to be more a reflection of people's lives and interests and get a lot less preachy about politics, it's going to go the way disco went, in my opinion. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art. Aberdeen, Washington.
Aberdeen, Washington. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that last woman that just called you.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, there you go. She mentioned the name of Yahweh. I believe she called it Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Are you very aware of that name?
Yes, I am.
What does that mean to you?
That means to me one who would be worshipped.
Well, that was the original name for the Hebrew God, which is our God now.
One who would be worshipped, sir.
I'm saying that that's the name of the Creator.
I understand.
That is, but it's a sacred word. But anyway, that's not what I'm really getting at here.
What are you getting?
I'm getting at that these right-wing groups, they do have that. They have that name, and that's very important to them. And they think that they're untouchable. They think that that name saves them from anything. And the fact of it is that they're not really saved because they have committed horrible crimes. They should come out for the crimes, but they will not ever come out. And anybody that thinks that the militias are just going to be defeated and that's all it's going to be, just another thing to blow by, is going to realize that it's not that at all.
All right. Thank you. I've got more. I didn't want to get into that because I've got a big Oregonian article entitled Militias Draw Up Plans for War. It's the same story about Hussey, the one I read you the other night. He's the legal guy for a militia up in Oregon, ready to declare war against the military. But I'm not going to end my weekend with discussion of that. We can bring this up next week. Oh, don't forget. Not to forget, please. Apollo 14 astronaut Dr. Edgar Mitchell and Richard Hoagland together, 1 a.m., Wednesday morning, Pacific Coast time, one of the events of the century in radio. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. It may be very explosive, and, I have no way of telling. And so I'm just telling you it's going to happen. I'm not predicting outcome or anything else. Believe me, it's going to be an event. We'll be right back. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Hey, Elizabeth, I've heard her on your show before, and when it gets closer to election time, I wouldn't mind hearing her talk extensively about the difference between a false conservative and a true conservative.
What do you think the difference is?
Well, I really don't know. I just have the typical ideas about liberalism and conservative.
All right. What do you think the difference is between a real liberal and a false liberal?
Well, it seems like the way conservatism is practiced in our society these days, it's really kind of mostly, greed, everybody getting after their own self with very little concern for...
All right, you've described what you think a false conservative is. What do you think a false liberal is?
A false liberal, kind of a goody two-shoes.
Sort of somebody who would spend money on anything just to enlarge the size of government?
I don't know if their thinking is even that sophisticated. It seems like a goody two-shoes is kind of somebody that's putting on airs and trying to maybe work off some personal karma or something like that.
There you are. And I'll tell you what. It is my view that our world today is full of too damn many false liberals and false conservatives, and that they're the voices that are heard because they screech the loudest, and they're driving the political process right now, and I am frankly sick to death of it.
Yeah, I am too. It seems like...
Matter of fact, I'm sick of politics right now.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking as we get closer to election, it would be interesting to hear some of her ideas. Because I've heard her on your program before, and I like the way she talks.
Well, whether you do or don't like the way she talks, or Charlie or anybody else who calls this program, I really am saddened that people like that are getting banned. Whether you like her discourse or not, to be banned from the air because of your strong political... East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Good morning, Art. How are you today?
Fine.
Hey, it's the weekend. You're right. Time is flying. Listen, kind of a crazy thought that just hit me because I was standing there minding my own business and thoughts hit me every once in a while.
Sure.
Wouldn't it be cool to have some sort of contest or some sort of way to have sort of a listener be a co-host for a little while?
Yeah, I've thought of doing that.
I think that'd be really cool. Also, through the use of Vidian, and wouldn't it be neat to tie that into, like, amateur television? And kind of transmit something that way, or like...
Well, that's where the law gets kind of strange.
Does it really?
Yes, it does. I've been trying to get a ruling from the FCC on whether I could put amateur radio on, on the commercial broadcast band. I've got my handset right here, and I could actually wire it in, and I could bring it in, and I could do it. I could do it.
Talk about a pileup.
Oh, man, we'd have a blast. But, I just can't get the FCC to say whether it's okay or not.
I don't think anyone's ever asked them that.
Well, that's right. And they just don't want to answer that, so I'm afraid to try it.
Absolutely. The other thing that I wanted to leave you with is don't believe polls. You have polls. You can have a poll say anything you want it to say if you fund it just right. The polls that are saying that Clinton is popular, he is or he's not, or whatever. Polls is bunk. I wouldn't.
Well, it's going to be a whole lot closer. Right now, they're saying Clinton's 31 points ahead. Now, that's ridiculous. Or maybe it's true now, but it will not be true at election time. It'll be a close election, but I'm afraid Clinton's going to win.
And also, have you ever thought of having anybody on from, what is it, doggone it? It's like one of these militia, they're on shortwave, and I can't think of the name of the group off the top of my head right now because I'm a little bit nervous and I shouldn't be. I've been on the air before, but shucks. Radio Free America.
Listen, I've got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
If I were to have some listener, not as a co-host, but just let him, like for an hour, run the show or something, who would you have?
Me.
Well, that's selfish. I mean,
it was my idea.
I know it was your idea, but if it had to be somebody other than yourself, who would you pick?
Oh, I think it'd be fun to have one of the liberal callers do it for a little bit.
Charlie, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Is his last name Manson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let me let somebody else get a turn in here. This is really cool. Really enjoy it.
Thanks for the call. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we'll do that. I'm not against that. Let Charlie host it for an hour. Maybe Elizabeth, so she could drive a stake through the heart of the quickening. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Art. This is Sampson in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to say hi to you from the grassy knoll. I figured I'd leave the Internet a little bit and go and see what's going on over here.
Call the wild card lines, area 702-727-1295.
I didn't get in when she said I missed her.
Let's rephrase that. You were messing around.
Yeah, okay. Good choice of words, Art.
Thank you.
Listen, the interview that I enjoyed today was with Dr. Purnell. I thought that was absolutely excellent.
Wasn't that super?
Yeah, it sure was. In fact, I was so impressed, I even emailed him, and let him know.
Great.
And
I hope you don't file him away too deep. Hope he comes back.
Well, I don't do that. Listen, what do you think, let me ask you, what you think the outcome of Dr. Mitchell and Hoagland together will be?
Well, to be honest with you, Art, I'm not quite the Hoagland fan that you are, but
that doesn't matter. I'm asking you what the outcome will be.
Well, personally, I really personally think that Hoagland is going to lose any side of any credible argument.
It is going to be hard for him.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's necessary. You know, I celebrate the debate.
Yeah, I know. So do I.
Yeah.
So do I. And let me tell you, Hoagland is sending the photographs to Dr. Mitchell, so we're all going to be on the same page. And Hoagland can say, now take a look at that. What's that? You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, believe me, I'll be listening. What day is that going to be on anyway?
Wednesday at 1 a.m.
Wednesday, well, I'll be where I'll have to tape it. But listen, you know what I was interested in? The information I wanted to get was in Dr. Pinelli's. You mentioned that craft that his prototype that he's testing.
Yes,
They were going to launch that. Is there any info or anything we can get?
I'll see what I can find out. All right.
Okay, great.
And we'll get it on the webpage as soon as we can. And by the way, my famous cat screech is up there as a WAV file for those of you that want it. It's on the internet. Also, the story I told about the Chevy, that should be up there tomorrow, along with the Chupacabra, the little chupa creature that you can get. I read a story about that yesterday. That'll be on the internet tomorrow as well. If you have not visited my internet site, it is a wealth of information and fun. If you've got a computer, go to www.artbell.com. It's kind of fun. There's a very great deal of stuff up there for you, and stuff that if you like this show, you will be very interested in. www.artbell.com. It's easy. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Hey, Art, I was just calling to make a mention about all these liberals that keep calling in.
Yeah.
Give you a different point of view here from a conservative view. One thing I was going to say is, like a previous caller just said, I wouldn't trust the polls. I think a lot of the conservatives, after we had that big sweep back in November, I think they're starting to get a little upset because things aren't going the way, we were all hoping it would be.
There's a lot of infighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of the conservatives are just scared to death to even touch the issue of gun control because the conservative voters typically don't speak that loud, so they don't know if they're going to be backed up if they do it or not.
It's true. No, it's true.
Mm-hmm. And
a lot can change. Look, the election is not until November. In politics, that's a lifetime.
Oh, yes. But,
so,
even you said it yourself. You said you're sick of politicians.
I'm sick of the whole thing right now. I'm just not engaged, and I think I'm not unusual. I think most of the American public is either fed up or simply not engaged, not even interested.
Yeah, I see a lot of that. I mean, one of the biggest things you need in a democracy is an educated public, and if you look at what the public school systems are turning out nowadays, they're getting a lot of people that believe anything they see on TV or hear on the radio.
It's true.
That really makes for some lousy voting.
No, you're absolutely correct. Thank you. There will come a time closer to the election when people will, I hope, begin to get engaged if Bob Dole ever mounts a real campaign. But I don't know when that's going to be, and I do know right now they certainly are not. People are exasperated, frustrated, but not engaged. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Good morning, Art. Tamara in Wichita.
Well, how you doing? How's Wichita?
I'm doing fine. I was happy to hear you're number one on our station here.
Boy, I'll tell you, the ratings across the country have been astounding.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But it is a reflection of what I've been talking about here for the last hour. People are sick of the same old junk.
Absolutely. It's much more exciting to hear about things like Chupacabra and crystals on the moon versus green cheese and bologna and
5
I'm
foot
really
eggs.
looking forward to that debate Wednesday night.
That ought to be something.
Unfortunately, that's the last hour we get you here, but I intend to listen at least for that time, whatever time they last, I guess.
Uh-oh, now there's hum on your telephone.
Well, that's true.
Well, it wasn't there. It just appeared.
Oh, dear, I don't know. It must be something in my...
All right, it went away. I was going to say that damn NSA had it again.
Oh, probably. I was going to tell you, I saw a couple weeks ago on Paranormal Borderline the drawing of the Chupacabra.
Yes.
And to me, it sort of looked like, if you've ever seen the movie Gremlins.
Yes, I have.
When they got, I forget they got West, anyway, when they got sort of, looking like lizards and stuff, it sort of looked like that to me.
Right.
But we didn't have a very good picture on the channel that night because we were having a storm.
Oh.
But when I seen, I thought, that reminds me of those ugly gremlins.
Well, it certainly was ugly, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and I hope I never encounter one. They're frightening. The thought of it's frightening.
It is, and now all of a sudden the reports are absolutely everywhere, and I'm trying to figure out, it's very, very hard, really, to try and figure out whether this is a growing, spreading urban myth, or whether it's real. I mean, the reports, my God, they're coming from everywhere.
I know it. It's amazing what can happen when you just, say one little thing and then, oh boy, I don't know. And last fall, I've got to know, how's Comet doing?
Comet is doing better every day.
Good.
Every day, and he's shown signs of wanting to walk up to me. He hasn't quite done it yet.
That's improvement.
But he sits there now, calmly, instead of running into walls. That's good improvement. And he listens to me.
Well, good. Bless his little heart. He'll warm up after a while.
He will, yes.
It takes time.
All right, thanks for the call.
Thank you. Have a good morning.
Take care. He's still residing in our chest of drawers. That's his safe place. He has made a nest in our chest of drawers, and he can somehow crawl behind it and go into any one of the drawers. There are 6. And when you want to roust him, you've got to pull each drawer open a little bit at a time. And when you finally get to the drawer where he's located, he slinks out the back and comes out the bottom. It's the damnedest thing you ever saw. First-time caller line, you're on the air.
Well, hi, Art Bell.
Yes.
Amazing. I'm interested also in Roswell, but I've got a completely different take on Roswell than I think most people do.
What is yours?
I think that most of the UFO people have got it so far off that it's incredible. They don't understand how big space is and how easily it is to move through time as opposed to move through space. Star Trek has warp drive, but reality tells you that space is a very big place. And why would anyone want to come here? I mean, we're talking about desert, which is space.
Well, then we would be like an oasis in the desert, so you're answering your own question. If you were moving through space and you looked at various planets, very inhospitable, with either no atmosphere or poisonous atmospheres, and if you look at Earth compared to all the others, we are green, we are blue, we are inviting, we have life.
Oh, wait.
So what do you mean, why would they want to come here?
Wait, you misunderstand. Oxygen is a toxin. Okay. Rust.
Not to us.
Okay, well, not to us, because we're native.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about a metallic being, then maybe, yeah, they'd come and rust.
Well, no, let's back way up. Okay, first of all, let's think about Roswell and what your reporter suggested, the information you got. They were using fiber optics, which is the direction that communication was heading anyway.
That's true.
Okay. Then you take the images of the people that they say, you have these abduction types.
Yes.
Okay. No, if you were from the future and you were not human, but you were a machine intelligence or a superhuman machine intelligence, and you wanted to manipulate now time to accelerate your existence, because space is a very big place, and they've learned from us that I want mine now, and everybody gets theirs later. They've learned from us because we've taught them. Our ATM machines, our computers, our communication networks.
Well, that's all true, sir. I suppose an alien might unfortunately come down in the middle of the night in a city, wander around a little bit, come to an ATM machine, and conclude that that ATM machine is, in fact, the life such as it is on this planet. It's a horrible thought, isn't it? I mean, some of the ATM machines talk to you. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Oh, let me just get the radio, Art.
Yes, get that radio.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised I got on.
Well, why be surprised? Be happy.
I've been calling forever.
Well, anyway, you're on.
Okay, well, this fried-foot egg thing's just got me on the edge of my seat here.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. What I think it is a lake monster egg, like the Loch Ness Monster.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine a Loch Ness hatching in captivity.
That'd be incredible.
Oh, it would.
See, I've always been more interested in lake monsters than, like, Bigfoot.
Why?
Well, especially since my grandparents bought a cabin on the Lake Okanagan in B.C.
Yes.
Where there's supposed to be a lake monster there.
Right.
And last time I went there, I don't know, just looking out at the lake in the middle of the night, you get this feeling in the pit of your stomach like something might be out there.
Yep.
So I think that would be, like, if they did detect a heartbeat, it's got to be something very strange.
Well, look, now, you be careful, because we have no confirmation of this story. You know, we've just got it from a couple of callers now.
Right.
But it is intriguing. And maybe it is. Maybe you're right, and maybe it's a lake monster. I don't know. What the hell would come out of a 5-foot egg? And how many zoologists would be required to sit on it to hatch it? 5-foot egg. Only here. First time caller line, you're on the air.
Hey, Art, this is Greg from Tangent, Oregon.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
Hey, did that guy ever get back to you? I think it was last night that he was talking about he was involved in the lab that created the Chupacabra. Did he ever fax you?
No, he has not yet faxed me. I await that fax.
Okay.
And, in fact, I will have him on the air if he faxes me.
Okay, well, I didn't know. I didn't know if that's what I was curious about.
Well, what would be important is, if he really had a part in creating it, he ought to know exactly what it will do.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Oh, who knows?
I don't think he did. I don't know. It sure seems damn funny that there's all these chupacabras running around, but we can't get a picture of one.
Well, now, wait a minute. I had a call from Mexico, and they say they've got it in the newspaper.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, well, that's about all I had. I was just curious about that.
All right. Well, stay close to home and watch your neck.
Yeah, I'm out in the boonies. But, you know, I'm not too worried about it.
All right.
I'll probably just
famous last words. Remember that? What me worry?
Huh?
I said famous last words. What me worry?
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
All right, take care. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Morning, Art.
Hi.
I have a statement and an inquiry.
All right.
One thing, I don't think I'd get pregnant for $1 million. And another thing is, I was curious about that man that stole all those Transformers. And Madman Markham. I wonder whatever happened to him. Hadn't heard anything in a long time.
I'm going to have Madman on. I know where he is. I know his phone number. He is still in this dimension.
Well, good.
And we will have him on again.
Well, good. I'll be looking forward to that.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Wildcard line, you're on the air.
Hello, this is Mike in Honolulu.
Hi, Mike.
Last night you had a caller that said...
Mike, turn your radio off.
Yeah, okay. He said some cowboy over in Mexico had killed one of those arrows or whatever.
That's right.
Did you ever get... Hello?
Hello?
Did you ever get any more information on that?
No, except tonight we heard that there is a Chupacabra that may have drowned, and they've got the body, and they've got photographs of it that have appeared now in Mexican newspapers. That's all I know.
Oh, well, that would be proof. All these stories they have one thing in common. No proof, no evidence.
Well, what about a photograph? I mean, that's not exactly chicken feed.
Well, I don't know about that. But
listen, my program is over. So you get the opportunity to say, Aloha, America.
Aloha, America.
That's it, folks. We're out of time. Dreamland Sunday, maybe a report on the Roswell pieces are its parts. Back with the syndicated show Monday night, Tuesday morning. Good night, America.